which is all a matter of taste.
Since we've been seeing a lot of offal at the Boucherie Lamartine, I thought that it will be rather nice to do a dish which is made out of calf liver. We've got it in here. It's called calf liver with sweet corn. And the dishes which I'm doing today at that instant, it's for 4 persons. The main ingredient is the calf liver. I've got there the white one, which is a light sweet sauterne, which I choose a sweet one. The reason is that it's not to get, I want sauce which is very sweet and no sharpness at all. We've got chopped shallots, very finely chopped, or onions. You've got little sweet corn, which are tins, butter to finish the sauce, and of course the veal stock, which is most important of all, which we're going to use in the sauce. Last minute, we will use as well the tomatoes into it and snip chives. That's all the ingredient we need. Now, while I'm going to heat up the beurre, the clarified butter, into the pan, I'm going to show you how, in case that you would prefer to use corn on the cob, fresh cob, how to take it off the cob. Now, they've been boiling for around 8 minutes. So you just let them stand as they are and cut it from the top like way. So that gives you a nice fresh corn instead of having a tins. Having said that, tins are very good quality as well. Now the butter is getting fairly hot. We want it extremely hot, as that dish must not cook more than 1 minute, around 30 seconds on each side. So what we do, we just salted the liver. Take a small fork. Do make sure that your butter is very, very hot. And you've got to be very quick by trying to put them all together on the same time. Now you take a flexible palette to do that job, as sometimes the liver might stuck onto the bottom of the pan. That first one is ready. Turn it over. Some people are worried about the liver to be overpink, but don't worry about it, as when the liver is cooked, it's always carry on cooking a little, so always undercook the liver. One thing to remember is that when you do cook liver, if you overcook it, it's like a piece of leather, and there is no really any pleasure of eating liver in that cases. Now the first slice is cooked. You can touch it with your finger. It's nice and tender, and it's more than thick, it's still rare, but we're going to drain it into a little grill and keep it in a warm oven. The reason to keep it onto a grill is that any blood will drain down. But it's not very good at all to keep it and then they're sogging into a plate. The sauce is very simple, but like most of our recipe, it does need different stages and it does need reduction. So to cut down the timing, we're going to go through stages without having to wait for it. Pour off all but about 1 teaspoon of buttery juice from the pan the liver was in. Add the chopped shallots, fried gently for 2 minutes, then cover and cook for a further 2 minutes. Add the white wine, the sauteed white wine, and reduce by half, which we will take about 2 to 3 minutes. And cover and stir in the veal stock. Continue to boil until it is reduced by half to a slightly syrupy consistency, which will take about 2 to 3 minutes. Add the sweet corn, fresh or tins. Stir in the diced tomatoes, which are cut in lovely little lozenges. And then add the little butter, which gives the shine into the sauce. Taste and season with salt and freshly ground pepper, if necessary, to your own taste. And quickly pour the sauce over the liver, scatter with the little snip, chives, and serve immediately.
We're going to show you the lamb with basil. I have sweated my shallots, or you can use onion with butter. I'm going to add my chopped mushroom, duxelles de champignon. Reduce it until the liquid which comes out of the mushroom is reduced. While that is cooking, I'm going to take you to the ingredients which is needed to do the dish. Lamb cutlets, sweated shallots or onion, mushroom chopped up finely, cream to be added after that is reduced, diced ham. To cook the lamb and for the sauce, clarified butter, white wine, lime stock, tomato which have been diced. You don't need to dice them, but they look more pretty. You can chop them. Basil which have been sizzled, and watercress for the garnish. That is nearly pretty ready. As you can see, there's hardly any water content left in there. It has evaporated. I'm looking here not for a sauce, but sort of a very light puree, like a mashed potatoes. I'm adding my cream, quick action. Bring it to the bowl rapidly. This is something which you can prepare if you have a dinner party in advance of your dinner party. And just keep it on the side of the stove. That is bring to the bowl pepper, salt, and I'm going to add my mushroom into it. This it's nicely and syrupy. And don't let it boil too long. Taste it. You should always taste what you do. I'm happy with it.
I'm pleased to know that you're happy with yourself, brother.
That looks good.
Your garnish is done. Let me explain you what I've done with the lamb chop. I cooked down and finished the sauce while you were doing your garnish.
Thank you.
Going through the stage of cooking the lamb chops, I've used a pan with a clarified butter, pan-fried the chops for 2 or 3 minutes, reserve them onto a grill as they are, just to drain them, get the fat off the pan, deglaze the pan with the white wine, and then add the lamb stock. Let it reduce to a syrupy consistency. Add the basilic, the fresh basilic, the little tomatoes diced, which were cut in little lozenge, and another butter. And now we've got the sauce, which is the sauce which we are going to use. I mean, are you pleased with the consistency?
I'm very pleased with the look of it, yeah.
Now, I've seasoned it, but would you like to taste it?
I'd love to taste it, Michel.
And I've got one question for you.
Yes?
Yes. Why do you always talk about onions? Do you come from Brittany?
No, I do not, Michel. I was born in Burgundy, but mother went on holiday very often in Burgundy.
Well,
but that's another matter.
then I like to make the point that shallots are much better, if I may say, than onions. So if you do not have shallots, do use onion, but as a general rule, shallots is much more delicate, so please, can we mention shallots more often than onions?
Yes.
Now, since we've got all the ingredients ready, let's get all together, everything onto the plate. We've got the watercress ready and dressing our dish.
Yep.
So that will be for the lunch chop with basilic.
Lovely.
Thank you. Does it mean that we're moving to deep water for next week?
Next week, we're on fish.
We're on fish.
We're on fish.
And the meat is over.
And the meat is over. And don't forget, cooking is like love. You don't have to be French to be good at it. So enjoy it, all of you. Happy cooking.